Have you ever been to Mermaid Cove? Some say it's all a fantasy. Many people claim it's completely fake. But I know this to be true. Mermaid Cove is as real as you and I. How do I know this? Well, because I've seen it with my own eyes. Back when I was a little girl, I lived on a sailboat
with my mother and father. My father used to tell a tale of a cove filled with beautiful mermaids. Inside were thousands of jewels. My father says if even one person were to take even one of the gems, it could grant them one wish. I love hearing my father's story as I imagine myself picking off a beautiful blue gem from the cove and wishing to become a mermaid myself. I've spent most of my life gliding through these ocean waters as my parents sail their sailboat along the coasts in search for sea life and treasures. Today, my parents are docked in a little village with bright colors and amazing food. While my father went off to explore the village, I hopped off our boat and walked along the shore. I remember the waves being so clear as glass as they whisked their way to my feet. How the water sparkled. As I walked along the beach, I saw something bright glinting in my eyes up ahead. I moved my hand over my eyes as the burst of light caught me off guard. I stopped walking and tilted my head slightly to see what it was. The light flickered in the water, and just like that, it was gone. Curious, I began running towards the light that had been in the water. Maybe it was treasure. As I neared the spot where the light came from, I saw several giant rocks surrounded by crystal clear waves from the ocean. I searched the rock, hoping to see what the light could have been, but of course, nothing. I scratched my head as I looked back to see my parents' sailboat still in the same spot as they had left it. What was that? I turned my head to the sound. Ringlets of water flowed from the farthest corner of the giant rocks. I leaned over as I held onto the rock to catch a glimpse of what could have made that loud splash. I held onto the rock as I stretched my body as far around the rock as I could. But just like that, my foot slipped and I went tumbling into the water. I rolled in the waves as they tossed me about. I held my breath as I reached for anything to hold on to. But with every grab I made, the waves rolled me further and further. I held my breath as long as I could as I flailed my arms, and in an instant, I was pulled out of the water as I heaped in a needed breath of fresh air. My lungs were thanking me with every gulp of fresh air I gladly took in. It wasn't until I had finally caught my breath that I noticed the singing. Beautiful singing echoed around me. I rubbed the sting of the salt away from my eyes as they opened. A cave, bigger than any cave I had ever seen, was engulfing me. Gems of all sizes and colors decorated the cave walls in beautiful shimmers of color. I looked down to see mermaids swimming in the water with flowing hair and glistening tails of all colors. They sung beautiful melodies, all in harmony as they smiled at me from afar. I pinched my arm painfully to make sure I wasn't dreaming as I stood up from the rock. Mermaid Cove! I was in Mermaid Cove! It was real! My father was right! I had found it! Me! Mermaids lunged from the water in twirls as they dove through the beautiful ocean water near my feet. I couldn't believe it.
So, yes, Mermaid Cove is real. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Did I take a gem and make a wish, you ask? Well, I guess that's a story for another time.